fucking, I don't know.
Great power.
For the fifth time, it's your boy Sean.
What's up, Wikimaniacs? My name is Josh Shell, and I am your asshole host for this Friday episode. With me, as always, are my two co-hosts, John Consignato and Sean Salvino. What is up, guys?
Not much, chilling. We are recording this directly after the Hour of Terror, so let's hope these assholes are a little bit more comedic, unless I want to murder them.
Well, at least we can have a little bit of fun with this one, Sean, because it is a listener-submitted Am I the Asshole stories today.
This could be the first.
Who's going to be the first asshole of the Wikimaniacs? That's the game for you today, Sean. So we've got another jam-packed episode full of listener-submitted Am I the Asshole stories. Starting things off, we got a listener who avoids their husband's grandparents. A family has a tough time dividing the phone bill. A cat causes issues in a relationship. A lock gets put on a daughter's room. And at the very end, we have our bonus episode for our patron subscribers. So if you want to get that extra Am I the Asshole story every week and get ad-free episodes, head on over to patreon.com/Cultivate Podcast Network and sign up today. On top of that, if you're a returning listener, please consider giving us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or you could share the podcast with a friend. And finally, like I said, today's episode is all listener-submitted stories. If you have a story that you would like us to cover, you can send it to us via email at redditonwikipod@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram at redditonwiki. Links to everything I just mentioned are, of course, in the show notes. Also, I should mention that I started doing links to the Am I the Asshole stories in the show notes. So if you want to continue reading them, you can go to the show notes and click on the links.
Is that before or after the link to my Venmo, which again is at Sean at TPOD?
I keep forgetting to put that on there, actually, Sean. I apologize.
That's wild. I can edit it in. I could put
No, that's good. We
change the password, Josh.
We've changed the passwords, yeah.
Wow.
We don't tell Sean about this, Josh, but me and Josh takes a percentile of some of the money that the listener stories being sent. If they want us read it early, then they slide in $25 to us, not Sean.
This is fucked. This is so fucked.
Yeah, we've made a ton of money off of it, Sean.
A ton of money.
So much money.
We just had to make it up to you by buying you expensive gifts. And, you know, like we just... hide it
That's where our ad. Then give me my ad money then.
No. We take that as well.
Yeah. You'll be all right. You'll be fine. Just stay.
I'm the whole fucking TikTok.
Just stay pretty.
That's not true, actually. I used myself as a thumbnail 3 times in a row by accident.
Ooh,
I realized today.
Wow.
Piss off Sean even more.
Yeah, exactly. He's no longer the face of the franchise. So with all of that out of the way, let us hop into some of the stories. So, am I the asshole for refusing to be around my husband's grandparents and keeping my kids away from them too? And this comes from listener email. So, I, 26-year-old female, and my husband, 31-year-old male, have 2 children, a daughter who is 2 and a son who is born in February. So, 5 months? I'm bad at math. Something like that.
I can't do math either.
I'm actually pretty good at math.
Okay, so how many miles is that child?
So that child, you know, if you consider the kilometers of it all,
right.
5 months.
Okay.
4 months, actually.
Quick maths.
When does this come out?
Can you show your math?
I only know old math. I don't know the new core.
Gotcha. So they go on to say, my husband's family is very Catholic and his grandparents are the most devout. When my husband and I had our daughter, we were not married. From the beginning of my pregnancy, his grandma insisted every time we were around her that we get married at the courthouse. We refused because we didn't want to be forced into marriage because I was pregnant. We wanted to do it on our own terms. I chalked her behavior up to religion and brushed it off, but she kept getting more and more aggressive, saying things like, "You're the trouble that got my grandson into a corner," when that simply wasn't true. Grandma knows how sex works, right? It's definitely a collaborative
corner for sure.
Yeah, it's a collaborative effort. She even made me cry on multiple occasions. After our wedding, which I converted to Catholicism for, we found out we were going to have a son. When we told his grandparents, his grandma's first comment was, "At least this one will be born right," insinuating my daughter was garbage. She has made several more comments about my daughter being wrong or less than. My daughter is still my husband's child, and I have told my husband multiple times how much it hurts me and how mad it should make him for looking down on our daughter because she wasn't planned and it happened before we were married. Now I refuse to take either of my kids to see them because of how she has treated me and the way she talks around my daughter. My husband is insisting I change my mind because she may not be around much longer, but I don't agree. Am I the asshole?
No, hard no.
Sean's quiet. I don't know if he's thinking.
No, it's just like all these things that I love being and I love about myself. I see people fucking pervert it. And
Catholicism.
Like, I love being a Texan.
Sorry.
Yeah. I love being a Texan. I hate watching people like Ted Cruz and Greg Abbott give Texas a fucking shitty name. I love being Catholic. I hate when fucking pervert priests and like people that are, like this grandma fuck up being Catholic for me.
Yep.
It just sucks, you're definitely not the asshole, by the way. But yeah, that's why I was silent. It's just upsetting
to hear.
This is where I'm coming from too. Like growing up in a Catholic household, my parents are very Catholic. My culture as a Filipino is very Catholic, and we were raised in a type of culture where it's like you have to respect your elders. That's a core value in our culture, and I hate that. Like today, I'm not going to try to turn back on my culture in a way. But you also have to come in a way where it's like respect comes both ways. And the fact that the grandmother already looks at the wife as some evil witch who kind of messed up her grandson. But like you said, Josh, it takes two to tango. I'm pretty sure that's the husband's decision too, to procreate at that time, or at least just have fun with it,
to keep the baby.
And respect goes both ways. And if you, as the original poster, don't feel like you are being respected as a human based on some outdated values that some people may have in terms of like religion, then by all means, don't be in a toxic place if you don't want to be there. Like, you're not an asshole at all. Like, and plus, like, the grandma said your kid is lesser than the kid that was born out of marriage. That's just trash, bro. Like, that plus makes me mad.
Yeah, that's always made me mad. Like, a kid born out of wedlock isn't less than.
No.
The Catholicism thing is like, the weird part about it to me is, does it specifically say you can't have sex before marriage? Is that like a written rule, Sean?
I'm pretty sure that's like, what are the 10 Commandments?
Don't be mean to people, which is like up there, right? Is that
Don't kill people. Don't cheat on people.
It's definitely supposed to be. If it's not in the Bible, it's in the other part of, like, Catholics have like 2 books.
Right.
It's in the Catechism, which is the other book. So if it's not in the Bible, it's probably in the Catechism. It's definitely like a no, but it's like.
But why is my I mean, you know what I mean? Like, who cares? I get like if it's like a one night hookup and it makes things complicated, but even then it's like
no judgment in that.
Yeah, like, no judgment. And these are the same people fighting against abortion laws, so who can't even go there. But not you, Sean, but like the grandma in the story is the type of person to do that, and it makes me so mad that you would treat your own family this way when you're supposed to, like, as a Catholic, Protestant, whatever, you know what I mean? You're supposed to care about your family and your neighbors, and you're supposed to love thy neighbor. I think that goes for family too. I know that's not the saying, but I feel that's how it goes, right? And so to be so evil to your own family members is just kind of heartbreaking.
I just want to bring back to what Sean was saying about, like, he has his values, and I love hearing that from people saying like, hey, I'm Catholic. Hey, I'm a proud Texan. I don't like when people do certain things. And I think that's like a challenge that I want to bring out to people. Like, if you're passionate about something, like, stick by it. And then if there's people who are, Sean's word, like, perversing?
Yeah.
So he said, if there's people like who's ruining that thing, like, call them out. And maybe you could start with his grandma. Call her out for her fucking being a dick.
Yeah. Well, it's people like Sean in Catholicism who are bringing it into the new age, right? It's the new generation that hopefully tries to bring it into a better place where it's more caring, more respectful, and less medieval. Would that be the right word? Just
outdated.
Yeah, exactly. Outdated. And same with Texas. Like, both you two live in the city. Like, it's
I just live here.
But you know what I mean?
You just enjoy all the good things about Texas.
Yeah, exactly. The sun. It's a whole other fight. But
I'm sick of all three of these recordings.
Not Tex-Mex. I hate Tex-Mex. What else?
Move, get out already.
you guys are the ones bringing Texas into hopefully a better place, right?
I understand where you're going from. I think it's a lot of the things that we're struggling with is I think it's a generational gap too. Like there's a lot of instances where people are just like, this is what I kind of grew up with. This is all I know. So therefore it's the law. It's the word. And I think that we're coming into like an impasse with like a lot of people are more free thinkers in my opinion. Like I think they're leaning more towards like, hey, yes, in the past, this might not be like what the answer is, but like now you're more like, okay, this might be acceptable. Oh, this is okay. Like there's nothing wrong with this type of thing. And that's kind of, it sucks because that keeps being lumped as like a liberal thinking. It's really not. You can have like some conservative value, but you can also do it in a way where you do it with compassion and you do it with ways to like, hey, I understand where you're coming from, but like, this is what I am, but I'm not going to impose it on you type of shit. Like, I just think as a society as a whole, we just need to understand where everyone is coming from and understand that like some people have different beliefs and it's not evil to have different beliefs. You just got to be able to understand each other and be respectful about what people think.
That's good. I was going to go on a whole political rant, but I'm going to avoid it. I'm going to be better, John. And so I'll let you sit there with that one. So we'll move on to the next story and hopefully it will hit Sean less.
Y'all are pushing my buttons on all sides.
I'm just kidding about Texas. I do love Texas. It's just all we hear is the bad news up here. So you can understand where I'm coming from. With
good people, bad politicians. Is that better, Sean?
Yeah.
Good people doctored districts to get bad people into politics, or keep them in. So we're going to move on to our next story. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay everyone's phone bill and only paying my part after a year and a half?
Oh.
So this comes from an Instagram DM from a listener. So this might also be our first male listener submission that I've read.
Oh.
So
males listen to us.
The 1%.
7%.
I think it's 15, isn't it?
Is it 15 now?
I thought it was.
Oh, nice.
Our TikTok's maybe 15. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. 15%.
Well, there was a trend where anytime like a male commented, it's usually ragging on us, calling us
soy boys.
Betas.
Clowns for free.
Clowns for free.
Clowns for
that Sean is not a part of.
I cannot get over that one. That's so funny.
John, why are you fucking making me in worse of a bad mood, bro?
Dude, that's a good thing that you weren't part of it. You're not a clown for free. You are a clown for $25 on your Venmo.
Y'all were a clown. Y'all were clowns for justice, and I want to be a clown for justice.
You were on that video too. If anything, you were the most vocal on that video. That was just the clipped part.
Yeah, he did fucking. I want my screenshot in there. I want to be lumped in with the gang.
I would Wikimaniacs stitch Sean and how much you don't like him. How about that?
Yeah, males that hate us hate me too, just because I'm handsome.
In 4K.
In 4K.
Nah, not in 4K. I'm only handsome in 720.
480.
Yeah, 480 is when I look best.
I look good pixelated. Minecraft style.
Yeah, 2D. So some backstory. So I, 17-year-old male, and my sister, 28-year-old female, came into an agreement that I would pay for my phone bill and my mom's phone on my sister's phone plan when I started working on February 23rd, 2021. The bill for me and my mom was only about $160, which I was okay with considering we had just got new iPhones and that's what I wanted. It's weird that you're paying for your mom's phone right off the bat, but I don't know if there's some sort of agreement there. I guess it's fine. So throughout paying the phone bill, it was slowly increasing, and every time it came to pay it, she always had some excuse as to why it was going up. My sister will play the victim in any situation, so to ask why or start a small argument was a waste of time, so I kept paying up to $300 a month.
Shit.
I didn't care as much because I was making enough to keep her from throwing a fit until she started getting an Apple Watch and phones for her kids that somehow I ended up paying monthly for.
Oh.
The bill is now $560 for 6 iPhone 11s to 13s and 3 new Apple Watches. I kept quiet because I love my sister very much and she was struggling, as was my mom, and I felt my sister was taking advantage of me. I later found out that for my phone and my watch alone was $85 for both So a week before the phone bill came due, my mom talked with my sister about how I wasn't going to keep paying $560. It's not fair to me. And she doesn't even say thank you. She was okay with that. So we thought, well, last night my sister was throwing shady comments towards me while we were at my dad's, and I wasn't going to take it lightly, especially after everything I've done, not just paying for the phone bill, babysitting, rides, food, etc. She continued to call me selfish and spoiled when I worked for everything. I have car, clothes, food, etc. I'm the youngest of 4. All other 3 are almost in their 30s, so I've adapted to adulthood early on and tried to give my mom a lot, and my sister isn't okay with how I spend my money if it doesn't benefit her. She gets everything she asks for from my dad, and my dad almost every time takes her side. She is the last one who should be calling someone else selfish. So I threw everything I've been holding back for 7 years in her face, that she's a selfish, greedy bitch, and is a genuinely bad person. I then said, I want nothing to do with you, and I disowned her exactly like she disowned my other sister, and because she believes she does everything and the world owes her everything, I threw my phone at her and left. Am I the asshole?
I don't know about the whole...
You definitely didn't handle it great. Out of all the listeners, you're the closest, but I'm still going to say no.
No.
Yeah.
The phone throwing part, you shouldn't have
Phone
done that.
throwing is not great. Not the best thing to do. Standing up for yourself and stopping paying for the thing, totally allowed.
Yeah.
Calling her a bitch, probably allowed.
I agree.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that throwing the phone is, when it gets physical, not a great look. But
I mean,
again, you're still, in my opinion, very clearly not the asshole.
Yeah. I get it. Like your siblings, you're probably a bit more aggressive with each other, you know? Who hasn't thrown something at their sibling at once or twice?
I only have sisters, so I never really got like a fighting sibling type of deal.
I had a brother, so we definitely
okay.
we definitely tussled every once in a while.
I have nobody.
I was about to say, John's the only child, right?
Yeah, true. All right, we got to bully John now.
Speaking of only childs, like John is like one of the nicest. Well, no,
He's not the nicest.
I know some really nice only children, but I know some only children that are like so annoying. And John is not one of those people. He's a really, for being an only child, he's very
I'm
grounded.
about to say, boy.
All right, I take it back.
So I understand the physicality, as long as it wasn't like a hard throw. If it was just like a toss, like to make a point.
It wasn't a.
It didn't sound like it. It didn't sound like it. I agree.
It wasn't. She said, "I threw my phone."
Hey,
That's not- you don't do it underhand unless you're a softball player.
True.
Unless you wind it up, bro.
Yeah.
Unless you wind it up like a softball player. You know?
So I think for the most part, you're not the asshole. I probably would have
for sure
brought it up earlier on, being like, hey, I'm definitely not going to pay for your stuff.
Yeah, as soon as the kids added iPhones, I'd be like, they can have flip phones. Like, they just need to text you, right? They don't need to be fucking have the latest iPhone. Are you fucking crazy?
Right.
And they need Apple Watches.
Yeah, better phone than me.
Yeah, I was going to say, they could have some shitty iPhone, like, I don't know, the iPhone 8 or something like that.
Hey,
right, Sean?
Yeah.
That's what I got. Series 1 Apple Watch that can't even connect anymore because I don't have the right OS anymore.
But she definitely took advantage of you, and that's not okay. So you're 100% in the right of how you feel. It's just you probably should have vented it before it all built up and exploded all at once.
Yeah.
But you're still definitely not the asshole in this situation.
Hey, write us back if how fast was that throw? Was it like a nice little 90 mile per hour fastball? Like, Sean is a Houston Astros fan, so maybe they can get a picture there.
Yeah, true.
Can we also like normalize like cutting toxic families out? Because I've done it. I've done it, and it's so much better for my mental health. And that bitch on my dad's side, like, ooh, like I cut that out.
Just
like,
cutting
quick.
anybody
Exactly.
out is, we have a limited amount of time. Like, I get it's always more complicated, and I agree, but like our time is so limited. Why waste any of it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes being the bigger person is like you taking an L because they will suck the life out of you.
You can definitely cut anyone out, and you shouldn't feel guilty for it. Unless it's like at the drop of the hat, you're just cutting people. She ate the last piece of pizza. I'm leaving. Never coming back. With all of that, we'll wrap up and cut to an ad break. So stay tuned and buy some Manscaped. I hope they're the ad for this episode. Otherwise, it's just going to be weird.
Father's Day is just around the corner, and our friends at Manscaped are here to ensure all the father figures are out there looking like daddy material this June. Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0, which includes their signature Lawnmower 4.0, is the perfect bundle to tackle any and all old man hair from head to toe. This right here is no dad joke. Treat him and yourself and join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code Reddit at manscaped.com. Trust me, his dad bod will thank you. Speaking of dads, there's a lot of really hairy dads over there. But Manscaped is designed with fathers in mind, and the Performance Package 4.0 is here just in time for your pop's special day. Inside this package, he'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver, ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance Boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold his goodies. That's a lot of stuff. I almost ran out of breath saying that. First off, let me start off by saying the Lawnmower 4.0 will be the official MVP of Father's Day. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accident thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof and also has 400K LED spotlight he needs for a more precise shape. Does your dad use the same trimmer for his body and face? First of all, that is disgusting. So let's throw that out the window and give him the upgrade he deserves. But wait, there's more. Manscaped just launched their brand new Boxers 2.0 that, dare I say, the best boxers ever. What can I say? I'm wearing them right now. We all know dads love their comfort. With summer just around the corner, the Boxers 2.0 are here to save every father from that uncomfortable heat. And these new Boxers are packed with revolutionary features, including the Jewel Pouch, designed to cradle his boys in their own special space. This right here is a game changer. Whether he's mowing the lawn, taking out the trash, golfing in the sun, these moisture-wicking boxers breathe without breaking a sweat. Dads, buy this for yourself. Sons, buy this for your dads. Ladies, buy this for your man. And dog daddies, you deserve the treat too. Get 20% plus free shipping with the code Reddit at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code Reddit. Shake what your mama gave you? Nah, shake what your daddy gave you with Manscaped.
All right, we are back and we're trying to cheer Sean up. So we need an asshole in this episode so that Sean can just dunk on them.
That was like the closest he kind of...
It is the closest we've come to a listener being an asshole, but still very far from
not
being
an asshole at all, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
asshole
not an
is
asshole at all.
tendency in the end, but
Yeah.
You did one assholish move.
Yeah.
But the rest of your moves, you were a fucking saint. You were paying $500 plus a month.
Yeah, that's crazy. At 17.
Actually, I take it back. $500 a month? That's insane. You fucking throw the phone. You throw all the phones. Throw it at their kids too. You take all their iPhones, you fucking chuck it at those children. That's absolutely right. I took a 180.
Next episode, I have to apologize for what I said.
Yeah, really, guys? I don't want you to throw phones. That should be a given, especially at children. If the child is 18, throw the phone, baby. That's legal. That's allowed.
It's not. It's assault for sure.
hey, DM us back if you're saving money now, because if you are saving money, Sean would like to have $25.
I was gonna make that plug, and then Sean went off at throwing phones at kids, and I just couldn't do it.
Cut that.
No, leave it.
So we're gonna move on to our third "Am I the Asshole" story. So, am I, 29-year-old female, the asshole for insinuating my girlfriend, 29-year-old female, rehome her cat? And this comes from a listener email.
Sean, you're the cat person in this trio.
I'm a cat person, but some people have like serious allergic reactions to cats, and it's just like, what can you fucking do? You know what I mean?
All right.
Take medicine.
So we know where Sean's line is in the sand. So we'll find out if this listener is an asshole.
I hope.
So my girlfriend moved in with me 2 months ago. I rented a house, 1,000 square foot, and we have separate rooms, and my kids have their own room. I also have 2 cats and a dog. It's already a lot of people and animals for a small amount of space. She brought her cat with her, and I warned her that there may be too many cats for the space and that they may not get along, as cats are very territorial. She said her cat was confined to her room at her last roommate's house and would be just fine staying in that space separated. Her last roommate's place was very gross, untreated flea infestation for years, let their dogs pee and poo in the house, and never took them out. So I warned her ahead of time that I'm very sensitive to smells and really don't want cat pee in the house. I'm sure you can see where this is going. My cats have been super friendly to hers and try to greet through and under the door. Hers, not so much. But after 2 months, they finally seem to be chilled about it. This whole time, her cat has been peeing on her stuff every few days, ruining clothes, shoes, purses, etc.
Cat pee is no joke, too. It's fucking rancid.
Ugh.
It's bad. Litter usually, I never usually smell it.
It absorbs it.
Yeah. But sometimes, sometimes they'll miss the little litter box a little bit.
Yeah.
Get, on the outside, and it's like, oh my God.
We've actually been talking about getting a cat, so this is good to know.
Josh, cats are fucking awesome, dude.
I love
fucking
cats.
love cats.
You want my big dog? I'll ship him to you.
I would love Obi. He's so cute.
No, he's an asshole.
That's okay. I love dogs. I love animals. I'm a big animal guy. So she continues on and says, I hate to think what the carpet is like in there. She's been letting her cat out and leaving her room door open more and more, especially when I'm not there, to get her cat acclimatized to the house. I'm extremely not comfortable with that, and I've already found a pee spot by her door that smells awful. I insinuated this morning that that's not okay, and she's not going to be allowed to pee all over the furniture. She says this because her cat is spiteful and wants to be out where everyone else is and is getting revenge by peeing, and that it also means that she's adjusting to the new space. I'm not buying it, and I'm not happy. I told her she needs to go to the vet for a UTI check and get some cat pheromone plugs to chill it out if she's going to keep it. I'm ready to just say she needs to move out with her cat, but I really can't afford the rent alone until I get a raise at the end of the year. Am I the asshole for being upset about this, especially since the boundary was set early on?
No.
You're allowed to be upset.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think you're right to be upset and right to suggest the suggestions you made, like going to the vet, getting a UTI check. Because I've had 2 different cats, and my wife has had 2 different cats whenever she lived at her parents' house. I don't think either of us ran into issues where they fucking just a spiteful cat peeing on shit. So I don't know. Maybe there is something medically wrong with it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you could be the asshole. Like if you're just kicking them out and the only reason you're not kicking them out right now is just because you can't afford it.
Yeah.
Like it's shitty that you've already come to that without trying to take it to the vet beforehand. Like I agree with Sean. Definitely try and get it checked out, see if something is wrong with it. But also, like, you had the cat caged up in a room for 2 months. Kind of shitty. I mean, I get it. Cats are smaller, but that's still a small space to keep a cat when
they take time to, what do you call it?
Climatize.
Like, I know people
acclimated.
I know like 2 weeks, 2 months is pretty long. I've heard like 2 weeks though.
Right. But if you're just keeping it locked in that room, because she just started letting it out, right? And so it might only be a few weeks that it's trying to acclimatize to the actual house. And maybe it was peeing because it was trapped. It felt trapped in the room and was peeing out of spite because it felt it was being trapped while the other cats and dog got to run free. So maybe it's just a time thing where if you actually let it out of the house, it's going to be maybe a shitty few weeks where it might pee on a few things.
It sounds trainable. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound like you need to fucking kick them out. It's either a medical issue with the cat or you just got to fucking train that cat.
Yeah. Get a water bottle, spray bottle.
Yeah. Technically, not supposed to do that.
Oh, really? Okay. Don't listen to me. I don't know.
Technically, not supposed to do that.
Okay.
Traumatic.
I don't know how to train cats, to be fair.
But there are ways to do it. There's great YouTube channels that, go over various cat problems. Luckily, the cats I've had have been pretty chill. Not a lot of issues, but there are definitely some horror stories.
Yeah.
Mean cats, just like with any pet, they're all different.
So I think for the most part, you're not the asshole. The thing that came off
super frustrated.
Yeah, I get that you're frustrated. That's understandable. The thing that made me a little bit came across as a little asshole-ish was when you were like, I want you to move into my house. We have dogs and cats, but your cat might be too much. Like that seems almost like kind of shitty right off the bat to be like, oh no, you can't bring your cat, but we can have mine. Like, why aren't you getting rid of one of your cats? You know what I mean? Like, why is that not an option? Why is it she has to get rid of hers?
Coming in with like a negative kind of feeling towards that cat. So like any little thing that cat does is going to kind of piss this person off. So I mean, cats take a while to train. And it sounds like, especially because you kind of don't have an option with the rent and everything, I'm sure by the time you get your promotion, things should be better. And if not, then, if you think it's worth breaking up with this person over, then, that's your prerogative. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, for sure. I think step 1 should be getting it checked out. And then step 2 should just be trying to acclimatize. Is that the right word?
Acclimated.
Acclimated to the house with full intention of actually trying. You know what I mean? Like going into it with an open mind. But I think not the asshole Close, though. I would say this one's closer than the last one.
Asshole-ish
Closer than
tendencies
throwing your
again.
phone.
Closer than
Yeah.
We're getting closer to assholes, guys.
Oh,
Edging,
God.
dude.
Edging there. Yeah, I'm going with not the asshole either. But I mean, I can understand the frustration, coming with like, as a pet person, like I have issues with my current dog right now. He's a menace, but like I can definitely see the frustration, like especially like with them caring about how clean everything is and how their dogs and their pets doesn't do all that. And next thing you know, the cat is damaging everything. So I see it,
Yeah.
but I'm still gonna lean with not the asshole.
Yeah. It needs to be taken care of, as in you need to figure out how you're going to deal with it with your partner.
Yeah, be more proactive with it instead of,
Yeah.
Reactive.
I don't know.
And to be fair, it is not your responsibility. It is your partner's responsibility, like more than yours, to get it to adjust to the house. So I will give you that as well.
But also when you move in, when you move into a shared space with someone that is your partner, you should be like a team, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
I think personally. So it's like, yes, that is her responsibility, but like,
It's also yours.
yeah, it's also yours. You guys decided to get this place together. You guys decided to live together. Work on making it good for both of y'all.
Yeah. All right. We're going to get to our final Am I the Asshole story before we get to our patron Am I the Asshole story. So I guess it's not the final one. So this one actually comes from a listener who sent it via email, but it is a Reddit story. So listener submitted, but not listener written, I guess is the right terminology. So
So if this one's an asshole, it doesn't count towards the
it sadly does not count. Sorry, Sean.
one day.
Someday. We're getting closer. So am I the asshole for telling my wife the lock on my daughter's door does not get removed till my brother-in-law and his daughters are out of the house?
This is kind of weird.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So, my brother-in-law, Sammy, lost his home shortly after his divorce 10 months ago. He moved in with us and brought his twin daughters, Olivia and Sloane,
Grey's Anatomy fan, I'm
Okay.
sure.
who are 18, with him a couple months ago. His sister, and then brackets my wife, and I have one daughter, Zoe, who is 16, and she and her cousins aren't close, but get along fine. Olivia and Sloane have no respect for Zoe's privacy, however. They're used to walking into her room and taking everything they get their hands on: makeup, phone accessories, clothes, school laptop, etc. Zoe complained a lot, and I've already asked the girls to respect Zoe's privacy and stop taking things. My wife and Sammy saw no issue with this. After all, they're girls, and this is typical teenage girl behavior, which I completely disagreed with. The last straw was when Zoe bought a $60 MAC makeup kit that looks like a paint set that she saved up for over a month, and one of the girls, Sloane, took it without permission and ruined it by mixing the shades together while using it. I don't know much about makeup, but that's what Zoe said when she found the kit in her bed and was crying. I told my wife, and she said she asked Sloane to apologize, but I got Zoe a lock after I found she was moving valuable belongings out of the house because of this incident. Sammy and his daughters saw the lock and weren't happy. Sammy asked about it, and he said my daughters aren't thieves. It's normal that girls of the same age borrow each other's stuff. He said Zoe could easily get another makeup kit for $15 from Walmart and shouldn't even be buying expensive adult makeup in the first place, and suggested my wife take care of this defect in Zoe's personality, trying to appear older than she is. He accused me of being overprotective and babysitting Zoe with this level of enablement. I told him that this is between me and my wife, but she shamed me for putting a lock on Zoe's door for her cousins to see and preventing them from spending time with her, saying I was supposed to treat them like my daughters, then demanding I remove it, but I said this lock does not get removed till her brother and the daughters are out of the house. Everyone's been giving me and Zoe silent treatment, and my wife is very much upset over this. So am I the asshole?
No.
I agree. I think your daughter is definitely entitled to privacy in her own house, as well as
Yes.
protection of her own things, even if it's from family members. You know what I mean?
I get it with like sisters share shit, brothers
Right.
share shit or whatever, but like they're not that close. And if she's already been like, stop using my shit, or like is moving her stuff out of the house,
Yeah.
that's already, that's huge signs that she doesn't feel like safe in her own house, which is, that sucks. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in a house that had locks on all the bedroom doors. I mean, I'm pretty sure my parents had keys to all of them, so that didn't like mean much, but like,
Yeah.
like it kept other people out besides our parents.
Right. And I mean, like you said, if they were sharing with her as well, that would be okay. Not blatantly ruining her stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's one thing to borrow something and then just be like, hey, do you mind if I borrow this? And then using it and then giving it back in the same condition that you borrowed it in. But it sounds like they were just taking
Ruining
like,
it too.
Exactly.
The part that pissed me off probably was when they were like, oh, you ruined it, but you can just get a cheaper one over there. You're kind of teaching your kid to like not be respectful of people's boundaries, not respectful of like privacy. And now you're enabling that kid to just be like, you can get away with whatever you want. Like, I got you. Like, that's like a crime waiting to happen in the future. And the kid will probably be like, oh, this is okay behavior.
Yeah. And who are you to say like what this 16-year-old should do with the money that they saved up to get something that they wanted for them?
Right.
That isn't harming anybody. It's just fucking makeup. You know, nicer makeup than usual. So why the fuck do you care? If she could just buy a $15 one, why don't you just fucking buy, or your daughters just buy the $15 one and use it themselves?
So this pisses me off about society, because it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. She's a 16-year-old girl, and society tells her, hey, you're only pretty if you wear makeup, which is not true. I'm not saying that, but that's what society says is like a general, you know, magazines, movies, you have to wear makeup to be pretty, you know, that kind of shit. And then you have guys like this who are like shaming her for it, basically making her feel worse. She's a 16-year-old girl who, like all 16-year-olds, have some sort of insecurity. And to belittle her for trying to express herself and do what she wants with her own body is so fucking shitty of you. Holy shit. Like, to call yourself an uncle to this girl is just a crime.
To quote the great show South Park, shut your fucking face, uncle fucker.
I think that's a good way to end it. I don't know if I have anything else. I think the only way you would be an asshole is if your daughter wasn't okay with the lock, but she sounds like she's okay with it. So I would just wanted to, you know, encompass that. So yeah, not the asshole. Shitty of your wife to immediately not side with you or stick up for your daughter. So, all right. That is it for this episode. What did you think, Wikimaniacs? Were these people assholes, or were they not the assholes? Let us know down in the comments on YouTube or on our website. I believe we have a comment functionality. You know,
we do.
You can also DM us, but people DM us too. All kinds of ways to get your thoughts known to us. If you want to hear more, please consider subscribing to the show and giving us a rating and review on whatever platform you are on. And don't forget, you can submit your own Am I the Asshole stories to us using our email, redditonwikipod@gmail.com, or sending us a DM on Twitter or Instagram @redditonwiki. And, you know, if you want that bonus story, you can go to patreon.com/cultivate podcast network and sign up to get episodes slightly early, ad-free, and you get a bonus episode, or a bonus story, every Friday of Am I the Asshole? So thank you, Sean and John, for coming on today and giving your takes. Thank you, Wikimaniacs, for another amazing episode. And we will see you on Monday. Bye. Expert in fucking, I don't know.
Great power. For the fifth time, it's your boy Sean.